Mr. Jack Ma of Alibaba, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen. Firstly, I would like to say thank you very much for making yourself available for me to promote Malaysia. Basically, that's why I'm here. It's not only about Malaysia, but it is also about promoting Malaysia-China relationship. Malaysia has had a relationship with China for almost 2,000 years. Initially, it was all about gathering jungle products in order to exchange for silk and lacquerware and other products of China. But gradually, that relationship has grown, and today, the trade between Malaysia and China is the biggest compared to the other countries of Southeast Asia. And definitely, Malaysia has benefited from this trade, and I believe also China has benefited from this trade. We feel that as long as we continue to have good, friendly relations with China, and we are able to trade with China and receive investments from China, then we will prosper. We need business in order to grow. Business is about creating wealth. If people are going to have a better income, a better life, there must be business in the community. And the Chinese people are very well adapted to business. In Malaysia, of course, we have quite a number of people of Chinese origin who have contributed towards the build-up of wealth in Malaysia. Now, of course, we think that with China prospering, we could have a share of China's prosperity by improving our relationship with China, by having more Chinese investments in Malaysia, and also by our ability to produce and trade and export goods to China. Currently, of course, the trade is in deficit for Malaysia, but we feel that we can actually reduce the deficit through investments by Chinese companies. So we welcome your investments in Malaysia. Malaysia is not like China. We do not have the technology that China now has. The Chinese in China want always to be able to produce things, not just to buy things, but also to produce things. And China has become practically the factory of the world today. And China has become prosperous because of that. We want to do the same in Malaysia. We want not only to buy goods from other countries, but also to produce our own goods and to sell to the world market. Today, the world market is open to everyone who wishes to do so, and thanks to the technology introduced by Mr. Jack Ma, he has opened the world market even to the smallest producer in the villages. So we feel that he has the means, the ability, the system which will enable even poor countries to develop very quickly, because he is going to open the market of the world for all of us. In the past, of course, a villager produces only for the consumption of his village, and his village is rather small, and therefore a villager can never become rich. But now a villager can actually produce things for the world market thanks to the new technology. That is why we have come to visit Alibaba, because we think that there you find ideas that can contribute towards Malaysia accessing the world market. Whoever has a market will prosper. The bigger the market, the better for us. And if that market is rich, it's even better for everyone. There was a time when China was very poor, but now China is rich. Even at the time when it was poor, it was a market for Malaysia. But today that it is rich, we feel that China is a big market. And by China trading and investing in Malaysia, we will be able to build a big market for China as well. So there is mutual benefit in having good relations with each other, in solving problems between us, not through confrontation, but through negotiation, through arbitration, through the courts of law. That's the way we all should go, because war is destructive and confrontation does not help build our economies. So I am here today because I feel I have this opportunity to meet with the leaders of commerce in China. They are all seemingly very big. I saw a company today which is not very old, but already it commands 70% of the world market for drones, a new product entirely. That is the kind of story we would like to see also in Malaysia. And I believe that by associating with Chinese businessmen and learning about their ways and their system, as well as their ethics, we would be able to achieve the same. Malaysia has a history of borrowing things from other countries. We had no rubber before. Rubber was found in the Amazon jungles of Brazil, but we brought the rubber tree to Malaysia, developed it into big estates, and we became the biggest producer and exporter of rubber. We also did the same for palm oil, which came from West Africa. Again, the palm oil is developed by us in plantations, and we have become a world leader in production of palm oil. It is not unlike your experience in China. In China, you brought in technology, the latest in manufacturing methods, the latest in communication, in the use of the new IT technology, and you have prospered because of your development of something that initially you import, but subsequently you develop by yourself. So Malaysia would like to learn whether we can be as good manufacturers as China is. So for this, we would like to continue with our good relationship. And if there is anything that when can contribute towards a better relation, we would go all out to achieve that. This is not difficult for Malaysia because, as I told you, our relationship with China is about almost 2,000 years old. During that time, there was no confrontation. We were able to live as different independent nations. I am sure this will continue into the future, with both countries focusing on economic development rather than confrontations, with both countries growing as a result of good economic management. We will be able to complement each other in terms of creation of wealth and abolishment of poverty in our two countries. So
Yes, we will have questions and answers.
well, I think I've said enough about Malaysian relationship with China, but since I will be asked questions, I think I would end there, and I would welcome interest in Malaysia. Do come to Malaysia, not just as tourists, but also as business people, looking for opportunities to invest in Malaysia for the good of Malaysians and for the good of China. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you, PM. Thank you for great and encouraging speech. As always, every time I talk to you, I'm inspired by your courage and commitment and sacrifice, and also you're optimistic for the future. Your knowledge really, I'm always saying that I'm keep on learning every day, but I forget most of the things I learned. How could people like you remember so many things, knowledgeable and so energetic? This is what our business leaders today want to learn from you. As we know, be a leader, it's very lonely. You have to have a strong will and softer heart. So you are the people that oversee so many things happen in Malaysia and Asia. But recently, your leadership on the Malaysia government, they lead the government to the next stage. I think we Chinese business community, we paid special attention. We watch very carefully, but there are a lot of medias and news about this and that. So your coming here, it's so important to us. We want to have some questions to ask you, and I hope that you can help us to clear all the air. And I think your speech just now already cleared a lot of the airs. So we would giving the opportunity to the audience to have any questions you have. We'll be very happy to. Yes. Yeah. Okay.
谢谢总理的演讲。我过去多次听您演讲，一直为您的这个特点和您的风格所折服。今天你依然保持那样的风格，令我们敬佩。我知道这是您出任总理以后，在东盟国家以外的第一次出访，可见你对中马关系的重视。我来自中国企业家俱乐部。我的问题是，这个马来西亚是中国“一带一路”的一个重要合作国家。我们已经有很多企业在马来西亚有了项目，有了投资。我们想知道总理和马来西亚政府对“一带一路”这些合作，您持有什么态度？您这个对以后中国的企业到马来西亚投资，你希望在哪些方面？您有什么样的政策支持？谢谢。
For me, looking positively at the Belt and Road project, it is all about improving communication, improving trade, because trade must move from one country to another. In the old days, you have the Silk Road, which is by land and takes a very long time. And then many years ago also, the sea route was developed between east and west, and that sea route passes through the Straits of Malacca, passes near Malaysia, and then moves into South China Sea up to China and the other eastern countries. So Malaysia is in the middle of the route from east to west, and because of that, it is very important to a lot of shipping people and countries in the east and in the west, but it is even more important to Malaysia, because in the past, when ships sail past along the Straits of Malacca and South China Sea, they have to stop during the monsoon season to wait for the wind. And when they stop during the monsoon season, they regard Malaysia as a refuge. And eventually, of course, they brought trade and wealth into Malaysia because they have to stay in Malaysia for 6 months before the wind changes. Now we don't depend upon the wind, but the passage through the sea is also equally, if not more important now, because we are building big ships which carry a lot of bulk material between east and west. So the Belt and Road object is to open the sea for trading purpose, to keep the sea safe for ships to pass through. And I'm quite sure for the benefit of China and also Malaysia, ensuring the sea route is open is very important for both Chinese needs and economy and Malaysia's need and economy. So we feel that this is a good move, and I am sure that it is not going to be China's intention to close the sea route because it will hamper trade between East and West, within the West and China and the other countries. So we look at the Belt and Road idea as positive. Of course, there are many other negative problems, but in the long run, it is the positive aspect that we should look into and see opportunities from. So I believe that both China and Malaysia will benefit from the increase in trade through safe passages through the sea.
Good. Thank you. So we have a question from Lady Xiahua, the female entrepreneurs.
总理阁下好，很高兴刚才在您的演讲里边听到了您欢迎一些先进的制造业能够来到马来西亚，因为我们也正在筹建，我们把服装行业的柔性供应链的这样的一个制造，希望在马来西亚做中马的这样的一个服装的产业园。那么我很想了解一下，对于这些引进来的先进制造业，您都有什么样的一些好的政策，或者是什么样的吸引力，能让更多的中国的先进制造业能够去落户马来西亚？
Usually the garment industry employs a lot of people. Of course, Malaysia needs to create jobs for the unemployed people in Malaysia. For that reason, we would welcome the garment industry in Malaysia. But this is a very competitive industry. Usually, investors go to low-cost countries where labor cost is very low. But if it is quality product as you produce, I am quite sure that manufacturing in Malaysia would be quite acceptable in the markets of the world. So you are welcome to Malaysia to start your industry there. And we will try and see what we can do to support you. Thank you.
Thank you. 刘永好，有问题。
我是中国的私营企业新希望集团的刘永好，我们是从事农业和食品领域的。马来西亚呢是东南亚的一个经济比较发达的一个国家，同时有不少的中国的企业在马来西亚做了投资或正准备做投资。但是呢，前一段时间呢，我听说我一些朋友啊。 他们对到马来西亚去投资，多少有一点担心，因为政府换届以后啊，好像对有些中国的一些项目，采取了一些大家不是特别清楚的一些措施。这些措施呢，就有一些担心，是不是中国，在马来西亚投资是不是继续受欢迎，是不是继续认同？总理到这儿来本身。 跟商人见面，跟我们企业家俱乐部的成员见面，我认为呢已经回答到一半了。马来西亚新政府欢迎中国的企业家的投资，但是我仍然希望呢，听听总理讲一讲马来西亚新政府啊，在新格局下 是不是继续欢迎中国资本的投资，而主要投资在哪些领域？谢谢。
Thank you very much. I explained just now what I mean by what Malaysia means by foreign direct investment. It is about foreigners coming in with capital, with technology, to set up plants in Malaysia, to employ Malaysians, to produce goods. But when the Malaysian government borrows money to build infrastructure that it cannot afford, that is not going to give any return, then of course that is not good for Malaysia. It is not about the Chinese, it's about the Malaysian government. They borrowed huge sums of money, and now we have problems trying to repay the money that they have owed. That is not foreign direct investment. That is Malaysians playing around with money, not even doing proper feasibility study and due diligence before going into business. That is why we have to re-look at these borrowings and this project, which in any case would not be beneficial for our economy. Maybe later they will be good, but at the present moment, the borrowings by the Malaysian government, not only from China but also from other sources, is so huge that we are having difficulty trying to repay the loans we have taken. Even to service the loans costs us a lot of money. So at the moment, Malaysia may be generating a lot of money, but that money is meant to be to pay debts which we shouldn't have taken. We are not against Chinese companies, but we are against borrowing money from outside and doing having projects which are not necessary and which are very costly. Thank you.
Thank you for the clear message. Thank you, Pian.
非常感谢总理先生啊，就特别是在您的演讲和小范围的会议当中呢，也提到了我的行业造纸啊，对我的造纸的这个理念呢和对这个造纸的看法啊，可以说呢解开了我对这个马来西亚投资的一种这种顾虑啊。总理先生，我是在马来西亚是在巴生港贸易区。那我首先呢是建这个纸的贸易的原料的加工，也是出口的，主要是用于出口。那呢，第二个是跟马来西亚当地的工厂合作，因为他们的设备比较老旧。那我们加入以后呢，会用自动化的和智能化的造纸设备进入这个工厂。那我们会在这里占大股。那我们在加工贸易过程当中呢，同时也会加大对土地的增加土地和以及这个后续这些投资这些手续的办理。那我们希望将这些手续如果办理完毕，那我们下一步将投资一个智能化、现代化一个造纸。这个投资就比较大了，可能大约在5个亿左右。那现在整个过程呢进展还是属于顺利的。我也希望呢，在这个办理政策、这个土地的转让以及政策方面，我希望呢，马来西亚政府能够速度能够快一点啊，这是。第二个讲呢，优惠政策呢，我也非常想听听马来西亚的优惠政策是怎么样的。因为九龙这个企业区要立足于当地的就业，立足于当地啊，这个主要立足当地。我们的产品主要出口到亚洲其他国家和欧美国家的，所以来讲有少部分在当地销售。所以我认为呢，这个也是这个总理先来，我也希望在这2个，一个是从优惠政策方面，还有这个手续方面，听听总理先生的，谢谢。
Thank you. I think the paper industry is going to improve and grow much faster now because people have learned to reject plastics. Plastics then do not destroy itself, but paper will. So most of the plastic things will be replaced with paper products. And paper products are of many, many different kinds. Not only brown paper for bags, but a lot of different kinds of paper which are suitable for different usage. So we would welcome your going into the paper industry. Malaysia for a long time have been exporting wood chips to other countries. But exporting wood chips give us little value added. We would like to have the paper produced in Malaysia as far as possible. With regard to equipment, this is something we welcome. Of course, Malaysians want to have better wages. When you increase the wages of the workers, the cost of production goes up. And that means that the workers will have to buy more costly goods, and we will not be competitive in the market. But if you introduce good equipment that can reduce labor and improve the productivity, that would be very welcome by us. We would be very happy to see you try and improve the productivity of Malaysian products. And then with regard to investments in Malaysia, yes, we do give incentives. If you develop in special areas which are tax-free, then you get tax-free status. If you are manufacturing for export, then of course we don't charge tax for the exports. But we also give tax holidays for 10 years, and if necessary, another 10 years. So you have a very long period during which you need not pay taxes to Malaysia. But we benefit nevertheless because our workers are employed and our people also pay income tax from their earnings in your factory. You're welcome.
Thank you. 这个有没有我们企业已经在马来西亚投资，并且这个有些想法和建议，碰上些什么样的建议有没有？如果大家有准备一下，好不好？这边是丁立国，先生有问题吧？
谢谢总理阁下。我呢是在钢铁行业是最早的一带一路的践行者。我们在2012年就进入到马来西亚，用了2年时间把这个项目批了。但是很不幸呢，因为马航事件，这个影响了我的心情，我就把这个事儿暂时就搁浅了。但是本来东南亚呢，我们布局是3个国家，就马来西亚、印尼和泰国。印尼和泰国的工厂已经建起来了，但是呢，马来西亚的区域位置、成本，包括我们最近在沙勒越在看，就是它电费很便宜，所以还诱惑着我们要继续坚持做这件事情。但是这2年呢，中国的民营钢铁企业已经有2家到了马来西亚，我就想问总理阁下呢，就是假设我们再去，因为已经在开始审批了嘛，到州政府已经审批完，到了中央政府，就对这种行业，有多大的欢迎的程度？另外，马来西亚呢有没有规划？就大概你这国家可以容量多少钢铁，是吧？这个中国在去产能，当然我们的产品呢不主要是在马来西亚销售，主要针对是东南亚的。好，谢谢。
Well, I hope that the problem of the MH370 does not stay in the minds of business people, because that is something that we cannot help. Even now, we do not know how it could happen. Yeah. So you cannot blame Malaysia for that. I hope that the Chinese people will fly Malaysian Airways as well as Chinese Airways to Malaysia.
Because PM, I heard that one of his colleagues died in the PM. That's why he was a bit happy.
I'm sorry for that. Yeah, but I don't know why they take so long a time to approve. The new government will try to approve things much faster. But of course, there are certain conditions which you must meet. We do produce steel in Malaysia. We have been producing steel, but we are a small market. So our market is, if it's not protected, will be, inundated with imports which are much cheaper. So when you come to Malaysia, you must accept that there should be some conditions to protect the Malaysian market. But we would encourage production for export. That is very good for us. And if you have any difficulty getting approval, we would look into the matter and see that the approvals are given as quickly as possible. You must appreciate that this is a new government, not the same government that was before when you made your application.
Thank you. Yes, 后面有一位。
总理阁下您好，我是来自于中国大型的这个共享办公服务平台优客工厂。在过去3年半的时间里边，因为中国这个大众创业万众创新，我们服务了到目前服务和汇聚了将近11000家这个新经济跟新科技的这个创新公司，其中也有200多家来自于世界各地的年轻的创业团队。我们也特别希望未来有机会能够服务马来西亚来华的这些青年创业团体，帮助他们快速的融入市场，结交朋友。所以在这儿也特别希望问问这个总理阁下，这个您对马来西亚的年轻人的创新创业有什么样的具体的举措？另外一点呢，我们正在或者是马上就会落地这个吉隆坡，在那边搭建我们的平台。届时也希望马来西亚政府给我们更多的支持和帮助。前天从新加坡回来，刚刚看到您的过去20年的这个一些睿智的言论的总结，就今天专门带到现场，这个也表示对您的尊重。
Well, our SMEs are not big in numbers. There are a few, but we feel that is an area that can grow because there are lots of opportunities for manufacturing of components and other parts for exports to the developed country. So we would welcome your support and your participation in companies small and medium companies, because this is an area that the government is actively encouraging, including sometimes providing soft loans and the rest. We will also look into some incentives to make sure that the SMEs do well in the country. We welcome foreign participation in joint venture with locals to upgrade the quality of our products, especially in the automotive industry. Thank you.
Thank you. 刘东华有问题是吧？后面还有谁？大家给我一个讯号。
总理先生好，我是正和岛创始人刘东华。本来我想问一个商界朋友们感兴趣的问题，但是现在我突然改变主意哈，想问一个可能所有朋友都感兴趣的问题。
听得见？
就关于什么叫年轻啊，有一个非常有意思的观点，就是一个人不管他的成就有多么小，但如果他自己认为他的成就已经大于梦想，那么他就已经老了。一个人不管他的成就有多么大，只要他自己认为他的梦想还远远大于他的成就，那么他就依然年轻。因为马哈蒂尔总理在全球政坛都是了不起的常青树，而且有了不起的成就。但如果用这样的一个标准来衡量的话，您觉得您是否依然年轻？您觉得您是在70岁、50岁，还是在30岁？谢谢。
Being young or being old has two definitions. One is chronological age, that goes according to the years that you live. The other is the biological age. Biological age does not always conform with the chronological age. You can feel younger and be younger despite your old age. I don't know how, but somehow or other I am able to still think and talk and tell a lot of stories. But I believe in one thing, that if you stop doing work, you will just fade away. So even after retirement, do something that you are interested in. If you do that, then you will remain strong. As you know, if you sleep in bed for a long time, when you get up, you can hardly stand because your muscles have not been used and they have become weak. It is the same with the brain. If you don't use the brain, it will also recede and its capability to function will be reduced. So even when you do work, you should also think and solve problems and argue with people, write books and do whatever which exercises the mind. I think if the mind is not exercised, it's like the muscle. They will regress and you will become, well, unable to think. If not, you will go mad also. Thank you.
That's great. So everybody learn that, right? Follow that recipe and keep on working hard. Keep on thinking hard. Thank you. Yeah, we got a lady here. Question. Yes, there's.
Good afternoon, everyone. Assalamualaikum again, Tun Mahathir. Sir, this is a question for you.
For me?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, my first question, I have two questions. My first question is, blockchain technology has benefited greatly on the financial industry. Can it be applied also to other industries, for example, in biotechnology, particularly in vaccines manufacturing? Because I'm from a vaccine manufacturing industry. Okay. Right. So if so, is there any initiative from Alibaba Group to actually use it in my industry? That is number one. Number two, China has very fast becoming the world superpower and world market leader. But at the same time, you are also notoriously known for imitation and fake products. And my product is one of them been affected. So what are your government initiatives to actually eradicate, curb, and stop these unhealthy activities? Thank you.
Thank you very much for this question. Let me answer this question in a short way, because today is the PM's talk. But blockchain, I think blockchain is going to be a very critical technology for the future development of the world. It's not only about financing. Blockchain technology is not about Bitcoins. Bitcoin is just a small function of the blockchain technology. I'm a strong believer of the blockchain technology. So it will fundamentally change the financial systems in next 10, 20 years. And blockchain technology will also be applied in many areas, because blockchain technology is about trust, is about credit, is about security. The security of the data, right, and also the privacy of the data, and the credit of all these society are critical important. That is why I say it's not blockchain is good or not. It's how you can make this thing happen. The second thing about the fighting against the fake products and the intellectual property problems in China. Like in any developing countries, China suffered a lot. And China in the past 10 years, because of the internet, because of the companies like us, we're fighting day and night on that. And I think we have achieved a lot. One thing for sure, if China do not take harsh measures or firm and determined to protect IP intellectual properties, I think China innovation is never going to appear. So I think both China government and company like us, we should fight for the IP. And blockchain technology is also a solution to do that. And I believe next 5 years, China will make huge jump to improve the intellectual property protection and fight against the fake products. I give you my word that my company will continue to fight every minute, every second to do that. And I tell you, in the past 19 years, I missed a lot of meetings, but there's one meeting I never missed, is the intellectual property and fighting against the fake products. If the business community believe this is an issue, this issue will be solved. Thank you very much for the question. Thank you. So, yes. So we have last 3 questions, is okay? Thank you.
总理先生您好，我是从事环保行业，我是在8月9号与马来西亚天阳公司签订了一个合同，然后想在马来西亚建环保设备厂，然后因为中国的企业嘛，很多现在都在马来西亚投资建厂，我可以为中国的企业和工业园区做配套服务。同时，这个设备呢，我们也可以在马来西亚这个伪平台销往这个东南亚其他国家。但是我现在呢，正在刚刚签。所以说，我就担心说马来西亚的这个投资环境，刚好今天总理先生到访我们中国，所以说我们很想在政策方面和投资，和这个工作那个办证效率方面，土地办证方面，我想，听说。那边比较慢，所以说能不能通过这一次，我们这个能不能快一点？谢谢。
Thank you. The question is about speed, because in the past 30 years, China, everything is about the speed. So the business community here, they worry about the procedure speed. Thank you.
I think the new government has taken over less than 3 months ago. So the policies of the old government was what resulted in that government being defeated. Because that government was not efficient, it was corrupt. There were cases where investors were asked to give 30% free shares to certain people. That is why there would be delays, because people were trying to extract money from investors. I can give you the assurance that this government will not allow such things. When you invest in Malaysia, there will be no attempt to squeeze you or get money out of you before approval. If the approval conforms with the conditions of the country, you will get your approval as soon as possible. In fact, we have introduced new ways of speeding up all approvals. They have to follow a certain pattern. They are given a certain time to make the decision. If they don't, they will be asked why they don't. Why is it that you don't reject? Why is it that you don't approve? They will have to answer those questions. So I hope that what happens to you will not happen. But if you still have a complaint, you're welcome to send the complaint to me personally. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I think this also stated that Malaysia, the government, the policy continuity and the policy stability is very important to any countries. So thank you very much for the answer. So there's a lady, yeah, there. Question.
尊敬的总理先生，然后马云老师好，我是来自北京运田良品的创始人刘运田。我本人是一个地地道道的农民，我的父辈种了3代水果。我本人在北京 卖了30年的水果。大概在2个月以前，然后央视他采访这个关于“一带一路”改革开放的这个双向物流的事情，因为我本人也在包括东南亚，然后在马来西亚这个国家也做了15年的双向物流。我们的水果然后卖到国外，我们那个国外的水果进到中国。然后我是想站在农民的角度问一下那个总理，我们的就是在双向物流这块儿，包括新鲜的水果这块儿，是否会给我们农民企业家有一些政策的那个税收方面，还有物流上面的那个支持？还有我们农民的，其实中国农民的品牌也是可以走到世界各国的，包括马来西亚。我在榴莲的方面已经做了15年。还有一句就是失火鲜果，榴莲的鲜果是否进到中国，还有菠萝蜜。然后我们2个礼拜之前采访了那个马来西亚农业部部长沙拉胡丁，因为我不会英语，所以叫马云老师，叫马老师。我很想学英语，我没有学问。谢谢。
Okay, thank you. 好像农业部部长今天在这儿。Yeah, he's here.
Yes, thank you very much. The two-way trade in perishable goods will grow very fast, simply because today communication is faster, as well as preservation of products is much more improved. You don't use poisonous material to preserve food. So I believe that we have problems with your products, whether importing from Malaysia or exporting from China. We would like to hear in detail your problems so that we can try to resolve it, including with the customs. Thank you.
Thank you for the question. So we have a time for the last question. Maybe that gentleman. Yeah, thank you.
总理先生好，还有马主席好，我是来自于总部基地控股集团的主席。ABP 在前10多年，在中国创建了这个高端的 Advanced Business Park， 就是高端商务区。它重点是为我们大量的实体企业，实体经济企业去创造商务服务平台，建立它的新的商务空间。
你的问题是？
那么，问题是，我们在2年前到了英国，建立了中国在英国第一个超大型的商务区、商务平台。现在，我们的发展计划是东南亚，但在东南亚，现在有印度尼西亚、泰国和马来西亚，当然还有新加坡。在这个4个国家，我们正在做选择。我想听听总理对于在这个4个国家中，总部基地的中国企业的总部聚集区，中国企业的商务平台是应该在马来西亚是否有更多的优势？马来西亚是不是有更欢迎中国企业去建立超大型的商务服务平台？同时，总理在新政府有没有计划来保护中国企业走出去之后，它的法律和税收方面的政策？谢谢。
Malaysia has a policy of being business friendly. We want to facilitate doing business in Malaysia, so the government is accessible to the business people. If they have any complaints, they can complain directly to even to the ministers. And sometimes I receive the complaints myself, and I try to solve the problems that they face. But of course, there are certain rules and regulations which business people must exceed 2 when investing in Malaysia. But these are not very difficult. That is why Malaysia actually, historically, is the first newly independent country to invite foreign direct investment, to invite people who were once our colonial masters. They are welcome if they come as businessmen. That is Malaysia's policy. Nowadays, of course, everybody talk about foreign direct investment. But we have done this very, very early. In 1960s, already we have foreign direct investment. That is because we are friendly and we have made adjustments. We have removed conditions like 30% for Malaysian investments and all that. That also have been done away with. So the policy now is very good for business investment in Malaysia. And also at the same time, we are in direct competition with Singapore. Singapore, of course, has got all the infrastructure. So does Malaysia. Infrastructure in terms of communication, in terms of roads, railways, water supply, electricity, all are available 24 hours a day. So infrastructure-wise, Malaysia is very attractive. But at the same time, it costs 1/3 the cost in terms of investment in Singapore, because the Singapore dollar, which once was the same as the Malaysian dollar, has now hardened, strengthened to 3 Malaysian ringgit to 1 Singapore dollar. So the cost of doing business in Malaysia is very much lower than Singapore. But we can also compete with Indonesia, with Thailand, and with Vietnam at the moment. So I think your choice should be invest in Malaysia.
Thank you very much, PM, for your clear message and wise and determined answers. And I think the way you answer the questions, I noticed that you are perfect and top world-class business people. Result-driven and clear. There is no vague words. I noticed that you answer the questions, you know what you are answering. And you don't tell people, big words that we don't know what, because we meet these kind of people in the world all the time. So we are inspired, and the CEC are very, very honored to have you and distinguish the delegation today visiting here. The CEC will do anything we can to enhance and under your leadership to improve the China-Malaysia relationship. We business people, we love the words you talk about, the stable policies and continuity of policies. And we encouraged by the optimism of Malaysia and Asia. Thank you so much for your great talk. And we will support Malaysia. Thank you.